네, 이렇게 바쁘신데도 불구하고
I would like to thank everyone for joining us despite your busy schedules. My name is Chanwoo Sonu of Finnegan. I'm an attorney. And we have been able to invite His Honor Judge Theodore Essex of ITC to conduct mock trial, and this is truly an honor to be able to invite Judge Essex to join us today. And the Ministry of Knowledge Economy and KEA have been sponsoring this seminar for the past 15 years. And this year, we have been able to invite the judge at ITC. Therefore, I believe that today's seminar will be even more meaningful. As for today's program, it's on page 3 of the book that you have, and we'll be following the program very closely. And during the mock trial, the data or the materials that we'll be using for the mock trial they'll be different. The ones that's in the book and the actual materials that we'll be using during the mock trial will be a bit different, as we have been making corrections and adjustments even during the morning. So let me introduce today's attendees. First, from ITC, we have the administrative law judge at ITC. He has also served as the judge for the cases involving Samsung and LG. So let me introduce that judge. But before that, this is Judge Theodore Essex. In the interest of time, I will not give a long introduction. Judge Essex is an administrative law judge. He is a judge with the as mentioned before, he's the administrative law judge, and we call the judge as ALJ as a short form. He is one of the most experienced and most professional judge at ITC. I mean, he hasn't joined ITC that long ago. He joined ITC about 3 years ago, but he has the highest reputation at ITC. And some people are saying that he's the future chairperson or the chief of the administrative law judge at ITC. He served as an administrative judge at other organizations, and before that, for 20 years, he served in a variety of positions with the U.S. Air Force, and he worked in Europe for about 10 years, so he's quite familiar with the international culture. But this is his first visit to Korea. When he was in the U.S. Air Force, he was assigned to Daegu, but he was preparing to go to Daegu, but things changed, so he had to go to England instead of Korea. And he has always said that he regrets missing that opportunity, but he's a person who really likes Korea. He was born and raised in a state called Ohio. He was born in a small town with a population of 17,000. And there's a university called Ohio University in that town. And it's a farming town. And so he was raised there. So he's a very down-to-the-earth kind of guy. So with that, we'll wrap up my introduction of Judge Essex.
제가 이제 노이 공판을 하기 이전에
And we have Mr. Thomas Jarvis, who's going to give us a lecture. So Mr. Jarvis is first going to make the presentation, and then Judge Essex is going to make the presentation. And this is Mr. Tom Jarvis. He's an attorney with Finnegan. He's a partner at Finnegan for about around 20 years. He was involved in trials related to ITC, and for out of that 20 years, for 10 years, he worked at ITC, for ITC. And about 10-14 years ago, he joined Finnegan. So he is a person quite well known at ITC. He was born in North Carolina, which is a state in the southern part of the United States. And he was born and raised there. And he also graduated school in North Carolina. He is a patent attorney as well as a general law attorney. And undergraduate, he studied chemistry. He dealt with cases relating to semiconductors. And we have an office in Taipei, and he's registered in Taiwan as a foreign legal affairs attorney, and he goes to China quite often. So that was Mr. Jarvis. And next, I would like to introduce the attorneys who will be participating in the mock trial. The mock trial will begin in the afternoon. The trial will be very similar to the trial that will be held at ITC. I understand that the arrangement and the sitting arrangement, that is, will be very similar to that that's held at ITC. And we don't instead of a plaintiff, we use the word a complaint at ITC. And so for the complainant's attorney, we will be Mr. Jarvis, and the respondent attorney will be Esther Lim. So let me introduce Ms. Lim.
에스더 림 변호사는 아주 어릴 때
When she was very young, she immigrated to the United States with her parents. So she practically grew up in the United States. She is currently working in the Shanghai office of Finnegan. She majored in computer science. She has a lot of experience with the litigation. She's one of the upcoming attorneys at Finnegan. As I said before, she is working in Shanghai with her, and she's living there with her family. And Esther has served as a judicial clerk to Judge Ueda of the U.S. Court of Appeals Federal Circuit, so she knows the procedures at the Court of Appeals Federal Circuit quite well. And next, we have two attorneys who will be serving as expert witness and fact witness. And as expert witness, Mr. Stephen Park will be serving as that expert witness.
우리 스티브 박 변호사도 스티브, you were born in the United States? Seoul? 우리
And Stephen was born in Seoul, but he lived in the United States since he was very young. Currently, he works in the Atlanta office of Finnegan. He's also a very promising attorney at Finnegan. He has studied electronic engineering. He graduated from law school in Georgia. And lastly, we have an attorney who will be serving as a fact witness and who has done most of the work related to the materials and the data is Charles Seo. He was born in Korea. He immigrated to the United States with his parents. He graduated from West Point. And then he went to the law school to become an attorney. And for the past few years, he was involved in many patent-related litigations. And at the ITC litigations or trials, he has represented Korean companies quite effectively. He's also another one of attorneys with bright future at Finnegan. This is Mr. Charles Seo.
그리고 저희가 한 11시 11시쯤에 이제 커피
We'll have coffee break at 11 o'clock. We'll have presentations from Samsung Electronics and LG Electronics. We'll be inviting two attorneys at these two companies who have experience with the ITC litigation. And I will introduce them when they arrive. They have not arrived yet. And let me briefly introduce Finnegan. Finnegan. Well, in the United States, there are many law firms with history of more than 100 years. So, according to the U.S. standard, we are quite new. We were established in 1965 by two attorneys, Mr. Henderson and Mr. Finnegan, established the law firm. So we now have about 45 years of experience. So we are a quite young law firm in the United States. We specialize in IP, patents, trademarks,